The following is a presentation of the Matt Talk Podcast Network.
The first weekend of major college wrestling came and went. So now that you've given up on your college football team for the season because you know the college football playoff is going to put at least one team in there that didn't earn it, this is Short Time Shots, a mostly daily look at the scores and more that went on today in the world of wrestling. I'm award-winning yadda Jason Bryant. In duels, we've got a limited schedule, so we'll lead off with the only Division I duel on the docket, which saw North Dakota State beat visiting CSU Bakersfield 24-9 in Fargo. No confirmation if a winner got to pick where to eat dinner, but I'm sure Roger Kish, the head coach of North Dakota State, would make his former coworker Manny Rivera eat somewhere nice. Not quite like the super fried Bison Turf Fare. That is Bison Turf reference number 1 of the year. There wasn't a super individual matchup of note, but North Dakota State's Cam Sikora did pick up a technical fall at 133 pounds over Chance Rich. North Dakota State improved to 1-0, while the Roadrunners fell to 0-2. Reinhardt ranked second in the NAIA to start the year, shut out Division II Emmanuel 45-0. The Eagles scored 5 falls, with two-time All-American Antonio Stewart earning a fall of 2 minutes and 15 seconds, while fellow All-American Michael Carew registered one at 2:04. Central Oklahoma, ranked number 13 in Division II, won 9 out of 10 bouts on Sunday to beat Drury 41-3. The Broncos, that's with an H, yes, kind of like Stanley with a C, picked up 7 bonus victories on the day. In more mixed duels, meaning divisions, not actual genders, Division II Coker opened up its season with a 30-11 win over Division III Averett, which starts its first season under new head coach Blake Rouleau. How old do I feel? I first saw Blake Rouleau wrestle at the Virginia State Games when he was 6 years old. Yikes. In the NJCAA Iowa Western, the Reavers, which means something like River Pirate or Pissed Off Chicken, shut out Otero 49-0 and Colby 46-6 to start off the year. Just kidding about that old chicken thing, but a Reaver has a long and colorful history. Well, at least that's the first few words of what the Iowa Western website says about it when it says, "What in the heck is a Reaver?" In tournaments at the Southeast Open, nothing crazy earth-shattering from the Bergland Center in Roanoke. It's quite possibly, though, the best sports venue in the Salem-Roanoke area. I mean, I remember just the Salem Civic Center just sucks. Anyway, I remember when Campbell was so bad, like losing to Delaware State bad. Well, those days are long gone, and sadly, so is Del State's program. The Camels had 4 individual champions to lead all teams in the Open division. They had 2 more in the freshman-sophomore division. Noah Gonser topped Mizzou's Allan Hart at 133. Josh Heil beat North Carolina's Zach Sherman 5-4 at 141. Quinten Perez pinned North Carolina's Kennedy Monday at 165. And a beefed-up Andrew Morgan majored Chattanooga's Matthew Waddell at 184. Missouri, fresh off its loss on Saturday to Virginia Tech. Yes, this was not the season opener. Saturday was. The Mizzou had 3 champs. Brock Mauller winning 149, Jarrett Jacques at 157, and Connor Flynn at 174. Virginia Tech, North Carolina, and West Virginia each also had champions. In the freshman-sophomore division, Ferrum's Levi Engelman picked up the title at 133. And not bad for a Division III All-American. Hey, good job, Colonial Forge. Yeah, and guess what? Another Pocosin shout-out as Mason Fasella of Appalachian State won the title 184 pounds. His dad wrestled veterans for a long time and actually gave me my start in sports as I was the press box assistant for the semi-pro, with apologies to Will Ferrell, semi-pro football team, the Peninsula Poseidons, back in 1991. Yeah, I was a 7th grader working the press box in 91. That's how I got my start in sports, was Mason Fasella's dad. No BS. Princeton Open. Pat Glory went ball, tech, en route to a title at 125. But there really weren't results here that made you go, OMG! Notably, yeah, I'm too old to say OMG, by the way. Notably, high school standout Beau Bartlett entered at 141 and took 4th. Columbia's Matt Kazmir won the title at the weight class, going major tech decision fall. He beat Logan Brown of Army West Point in the finals. Brown had beaten Bartlett 3-1 in the semifinals. Mike D'Angelo returned to the Princeton lineup after a year off and picked up a forfeit in the finals over Matthew Kolodzik, who is taking this year off. At 157, Riders' Jesse Dellavecchia won the title, beating Princeton's Quincy Monday 4-2. I had to do that take 3 times to get it right. I said I was going to do one take. Yeah, I'm not butchering that one that bad. Monday beat Lehigh's Josh Humphreys 11-5 in the semis. Officer's Ricky Stam with the title at 165. His prize is he gets to borrow some hair product from Dennis Papadatos. Finger Lakes had 2 Hammers pick up W's before they enroll at Cornell next year. Chris Foco won a title at 174, while Lewis Fernandes won at 285. Fernandes disappointingly only pinned one guy, far below his high school average. He good. Battle at the Citadel results. Stanford American and Old Dominion finished 1-2-3 at the first annual event. False. There's no such thing as a first annual. It's the inaugural Battle at the Citadel. That is your SID note of the day. There wasn't a ton of stuff that shake things up in terms of the rankings, other than ODU's Killian Cardinale knocking off Americans' Gage Curry at 125, and Stanford's redshirt freshman Real Woods beating ODU's Sedarian Perry 2-1 at 141. Woods earned an escape and a late stall point, I believe. I couldn't quite see it on the screen, but it was 1-1. They went out of bounds. The next thing you know, it's 2-1. That's what I'm guessing. It's Woods' first officially ranked W of his career. Again, he was unattached last year. He also beat American Sal Profaci in the semis. You might remember him from Michigan. Americans' Kizhan Clarke had a breakout performance, stopping Stanford's Requier Vandermeer in a battle of PA announcer nightmare first names and last names. If you don't know anything about, like, South African Dutch, you don't know really how to say Vandermeer either. That being said, Presbyterian's first wrestling since the 1950s took to the mats as Mark Cody's first-year squad had Austin Stiff finish third at 197 pounds and Jacob Browser take fifth at 125. At the Clarion Open, Brock Zackel returned to wrestling and claimed top honors at 149. He didn't navigate the most brutal field, but he's one of the Golden Eagles' top hopes for the program's first All-American since James Fleming in 2013. Clarion's Greg Bolsack will now have people following his progress after beating highly touted freshman Michael Beard, wrestling unattached from Penn State 11-8 in the finals. Last year, it was Beard who beat Bolsack 13-9 in the finals as he was deferring enrollment. As we move on to news from the newsletter, I really want to come up with a name for this segment, like Placing Top 6, but you know what? We already have enough wrestling puns and podcast-type goofiness, so it's from the newsletter. By the way, I want you to know that only free stories are posted in the Daily Wrestling newsletter. So if something's paywalled, it won't be there. That goes for our wrestling subscription sites, no matter which ones they are, or your daily newspapers. I do, however, recommend turning off your ad blocker when clicking on these stories when prompted, because the whole analytics and stuff, yeah, they know that people are clicking on wrestling stories. That's stuff that these newspapers track, along with everything about your privacy. Anyway, what we're seeing in tomorrow's newsletter, or today's newsletter, depending on which time you're listening to Shots here, for November 3rd, 2019, because you're listing probably on the 4th, but Nick Corey offers up another one of his Corey stories on TrackWrestling.com discussing the intrigue the Olympic redshirting situation around the country brings to college wrestling this season. Also, while not in the newsletter, it should be noted that Willie Saylor, who made the show like a day before yesterday, has posted via Twitter he's left Flow Wrestling. His handle has changed to Willie at Willie, which one fan points out looks like Will Eat Willie. Anyway, worthlessly stupid Facebook groups were set ablaze by the news. Some people have way too much time on their hands. Say what you want about Willie. He got you talking. Both USA Wrestling and 5 Point Move have information regarding the 3 medals from Sweden. From United World Wrestling, we have a feature on Egypt's Mohammed El Sayed, who won the U23 World Championships in Greco-Roman, which was his second world title in as many weeks. He also won the World Military Games just a little bit ago. I like to draw attention to new programs around the country, and one of the newest, Central Methodist, an NAIA school in Fayette, Missouri, got off to the races with its wrestling program by hosting an open. Right off the bat, you go and host a tournament? Are you trying to kill your SID? Yeah, they're led by 3-time Division II All-American Terrell Wilburn. Jim Nelson of the Waterloo Cedar Falls Courier writes a pretty solid preview of the Upper Iowa wrestling team, and it should be solid. Nelly's one of the best in the business and is a past winner of the National Wrestling Media Association Writer of the Year. In keeping things Iowa, where the local press has always done the sport better than most places, Steve Batterson of the Quad City Times features Iowa's Spencer Lee, and how his preseason schedule working football games goes unnoticed, but his international schedule this college season will not be. Unrelated, one of the bars I routinely did karaoke at in college was named Batterson's. The owner actually charged people for tap water on 50-cent taco night. I trust Steve wouldn't do such a thing. At least I'd hope not. You can get to read those stories and more from Matt Talk Online's daily wrestling newsletters. Sign up for free at matttalkonline.com/news and get the day's top stories from around the world in wrestling delivered to your inbox for free. The Matt Talk Online daily newsletter is sponsored by Resolite. Short Time Shots is sponsorless. Are you interested? Well, give me a shout. Or if you'd like to support the show and all the on-demand audio offerings, free newsletters, and historical research, and you want to get some of that cool compound gear, you can support this program by making a small monthly contribution to the network by going to matttalkonline.com/join the team. Short Time is proudly outfitted by Compound Sportswear. New gear coming soon. Say hi to Cliff and the crew. You know the deal. at Compound Sportswear, cmpteamwear.com. You know it. You got it. That's all I got for today. I'd like to thank you for spending your time with me because you've always got time for short time.